Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are reacting to today's prisoner swap with Russia.
This looks like a very good deal for the United States and democracy all over the world. Obviously, the priority has to be getting Americans out.
I don't know what we had to give up. I haven't seen the final reports yet, but I do know what we got, and I'm just very, very pleased.
Arkansas Republican Congressman French Hill joins us now, has uniquely closely tracked this issue, co-chair of the Congressional Task Force on American Hostages and Americans Wrongfully Detained Abroad. Congressman, we're grateful for the time. What do you make of the swap and how it all seemed to come together?
Well, Scott, it's good to be with you tonight. Of course, this is a happy day in America because this is a day that families have dreamed to hear some positive news about their loved ones that have been wrongfully detained by the Putin regime in Russia. So it's a happy day. This is a big, complex prisoner swap involving some 6 countries and 24 people, probably the largest since the end of the Cold War. So it's a big deal, and it's a great deal for the families who have been worried to death about the outcome of their family members.
You say it's a big and complex deal. It certainly looks that way. Does this type of deal have to be big and complex to work? Is this kind of how it has to go?
Well, look, what I've always been concerned about is where we've seen America put a price on blue passports by paying money to rogue regimes to return Americans wrongfully detained abroad. We have some 50 American families that are hoping that their American family member comes home. So when we see these complex prisoner swaps, there's always give and take. But here it appeared to me to be a good diplomacy on the part of our negotiators in the United States to let Russia have some people that they're seeking out of incarceration, both here and in Germany and other countries, as well as bring home these members. Paul Whelan's family has been missing him since he went to a wedding in Moscow some 6 years ago. So it is, I think, a good news story tonight. And Haley Stevens, my co-chair on the task force here in the House for those Americans held abroad wrongfully, we're pleased and proud that this has happened, and we are continuing to advocate for those families, both here in Congress and with countries around the world, to bring them home.
What concerns do you have about the Russians who were released in this deal?
Well, look, Russians held in Germany, particularly this one that's being released by Germany, these are bad actors. These are the worst sort of criminals, and that is typical in prisoner swaps. And you've seen that actually in Gaza as some hostages have been released in return for some Palestinians. That's the nature of the business. It's a dirty business. And it's why Americans should be very cautious about traveling to countries where there are bad actors or people trying to obtain American passports to be held hostage for money or for the release of a criminal. So I have concerns about it, but that's the nature of this business. As I say, it's a dirty business, but we don't want to leave Americans wrongfully detained, incarcerated, tried in prison abroad when we can work collaboratively through our diplomats to bring them home.
About your characterization of this being a dirty business, we've heard that from multiple people today. Former President Trump argued on social media the U.S. should give nothing to get Americans released. Do you agree with him? Is that feasible?
Look, I understand that point of view. That's how all of us feel because we're outraged when a blue passport holder is taken by a terror group, a state actor, or a thug like Vladimir Putin. So we all reject that. But sometimes in diplomacy, you have to be realistic. To bring our Americans home, we have to do a prisoner exchange. And unfortunately, that's the case here. But let's rejoice that these 3 citizens and green card holder are back, going to be reunited with their family members. And remember that that's the important thing.
About the other Americans still being held abroad, including the journalist Austin Tice in Syria, does this type of swap make it more likely that happens, that Tice is released, or does it mean it's going to be quite a bit of time until there are future releases?
Conversations happen every day between our diplomats, our special envoy for hostage affairs. You may recall former New Mexico governor and cabinet member Bill Richardson was quite involved in this as someone in the non-governmental organization sector. These conversations are always happening on behalf of freeing Americans, and Austin Tice being held by one of the worst regimes in the world. Hopefully this sends a message that we want to bring our Americans home.
Let me ask a parallel issue here, Congressman. You've been quite vocal on the issue of the war in Ukraine. Any concern that a Vice President J.D. Vance, future President Trump, might reduce or seek to reduce the amount of American military support or the amount of American financial aid for Ukraine?
Well, let's remember that it was President Trump and leadership who actually armed the Ukrainians and prepared them to push back against the Russian earliest incursions in Donbass back in that 2014 timeframe when he came into office. He had armed the Ukrainians, something that the Obama administration had not done. And also President Trump moved troops forward to Poland when he was president as a part of his NATO strategy. And we have NATO pulling in the same direction. So I don't think anyone in America, in any political party, wants Vladimir Putin to achieve victory in Ukraine. I don't think any American in any political party wants Ukraine to be subjugated by Russia and have their sovereign territory taken. So I think that's where Americans are. Yes, Europeans need to do absolutely their part as much as they can in ejecting Putin from Ukraine with money, humanitarian aid, and military might. But as an essential partner in NATO, America stands at the side of Europe in this fight.
Congressman French Hill here in Washington, where it might today be even hotter than back home in Arkansas. Thank you for your time. Have a good weekend.
Well, I can tell you it is. You bet. Good to be with you.